I know what you're thinking on this one. I'm a little bit late. You're late! A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Toy Rat.
What's up, Collective fam? It's your boy Tony the Toy Rat, back with another rigorous resin review for new PVC pre-used preview, and this one is Gandalf. Not just any Gandalf, Gandalf the White. And obviously, he doesn't become Gandalf the White. I say obvious because it should be obvious to you. He doesn't become Gandalf the White until the Two Towers. So, this is Gandalf the White from the Two Towers, and we're going to unbox and talk about him. Stick with me. Let's go. Okay, Collective fam, I always get excited at this part. So we're going to open up Gandalf the White. I'm a huge movie buff on top of a comic book nerd, and I love my statues and my toys. So really quick, some housekeeping. You're going to see over to my left, which is probably your right, you're going to see Gollum, which is available in sort of a diorama format in a toy section for the action toys. Also a Diamond Select toy. And then we just unearthed our friend Aragorn, son of Arathorn. Isildur's heir. And we're about to do Gandalf, and that's going to complete this little section of the Lord of the Rings. But you should check out all three of those from Diamond Select Toys whenever you have an opportunity, because they're actually pretty damn cool if you're setting up for a movie collection. And I'm sorry if you see me spitting when I'm talking. It's just my excitement. So let's go. Let's open up Gandalf the White. Let's do it now. So, I mean, for you guys who are box collectors, you know that I am not. But there is the picture of Gandalf on the back. And, you know, basically has the Lord of the Rings logo, Gandalf the White PVC diorama. Basically gives a little bit of synopsis about him. And then shows a couple other toys that I can't, you know, at least one I want to get my hands on. There's that cave troll. And they do have that cave troll. And yes, I need the cave troll. What kind of toy rat would I be? So, real quick, let's crack this open. Onesie. Tuesday. Box collectors, this is a wider box than normal. I think they gave Gandalf the reverence he deserves, and he has a much wider stance and base in this setup here. So, ooh, let's open it up. Boo, 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 boo. Kelly Green, Forest Green. I'm not sure what green that is. I'm just making green names up. And I'm going to pull Gandalf out as I look at the background here and see. This is another one of those where it looks like it's a sort of a picture of, you know, some washed out Middle Earth piece of land or something like that, you know. But, you know, just so everybody knows, this is not something to play with. The Earth needs to be your friend. Recycle. Okay. Doo-doo. Let's crack the plastic. Oh yeah, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. So I'm just looking at the plastic to make sure there isn't anything I need to take out of here, like some extra weapons or anything. Looks like it all comes in one, so recycle. Okay, I need to put on my glasses. Come on, there's old man eyes here. Give me a break. Okay, so. Whoa. How cool is that? Now I'm going to turn on the light over here for a second because I can get brighter now that we don't have any our issues with the plastic being apart from it. He is walking on rocks, mountainside, but there are bits and pieces of broken castle, ruined stones or something in order to, I think he's in the cave at this point, because you can see some cracked elements down here on the base. We'll talk all about them after I sit down and give you guys a full body spin. But for right now, this is Gandalf the White. Ha 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 ha. Okay, collector fam, let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty of this sculpture that was designed by Caesar and sculpted by Anissa Tashub. Gotta give her a shout out. She's been hitting a bunch of sculptures here lately that have come out really fantastic. So, good job, Anissa. Okay, so we're going straight into it. This is Gandalf the White from The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Straight off, banging portrait. The portrait. Guys, if you don't know who it is we're looking at, you have failed in terms of, the sculpting. So if you are into sculptures and you can't see who this is just by a glimpse, they got everything from the tone of his face to the hard angles of his cheeks correct. This is Ian McKellen. This is Ian McKellen all day long. The statue is super dynamic. Even though Gandalf's older, he's also quite capable, involved in every one of the battles you wind up seeing and loving from Lord of the Rings. They do an excellent job of flailing about the cape behind him, so it doesn't only show motion, but there is a hint of wind that is coming his direction. You get that not only from the cape and all the wrinkles and movement from the back, but you also get that from his hair. Let me pull in closer just a little bit so you guys can see that. The hair around his face is whipping around. So that's not just from your movement, that is also from an airflow, I would assume. It looks to me that he's, somewhere precarious. I don't know exactly where this scene is. It's outside Moria, obviously, because we're in the Two Towers. I'm not entirely sure where we are. One of the broken cities, I assume. But I think they did a fantastic job with the Wizard's Wand. Here's his wand, which I hope you guys can see the detail that they put into that. They did a really nice job of mimicking the overall wand look. They did a fantastic job with his boots, wrinkling up exactly where you expect the motion to hit and the bends to be in the leather, and the shoelaces going all the way up. So I'll try and give you guys better closest. Nothing like seeing it in person, guys, but reality is I'm doing the best I can here to show you what I can. So the staff is one piece. It goes all the way up and down. It's held on there by a little rubber band. So if you wanted to remove the rubber band, this thing would slide freely. I don't want it to slide freely, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. The same is true for the unsheathed sword. So you can see the sword sheath sticking out of the back here, and he's actually holding the sword in his hand. Now, this is probably going to be my only gripe about the statue right now. Unlike they did with the staff, the sword is in two pieces. There's a top half to it, and then there's the hilt, the handle and the hilt. The hilt's the top part, right? So the handle down here, as you guys can tell, this is actually a molded piece. This isn't going to move that you can see me moving it around, and it doesn't do anything to that sword above. The sword is held on with another one of those little plastic bands, and it does move. See that? So it's kind of precariously placed there, and I have to wonder what was the choice selection on that. Why we didn't do a complete molded piece and stick it in the hand or something like that. He is sitting on rocks. They're always on rocks, but this is Lord of the Rings, so you have to forgive that. A lot of their cities were turned into rubble because of the wars and whatnot. I already mentioned the dynamic pose that he was in. His face, his portrait is fantastic. If I had to beg of them something more, it would be to make the hair less thick. There's a lot of thickness. I mean, it looks good, guys. I'm being nitpicky right now. But if I turn it around, I feel like the hair could be just a tad thinner. There is an inner and outer lining here, all of which are semi-flexible. It's just not really tight. It moves. The same is true with his hair on the top. Nothing we think is going to break off. The hairline goes to the top of his head, and then they painted the inside head part of the sculpt. So I'm not sure you guys can see they painted it. But I don't hate them for that. It looks good. It looks like he just has really thin hair on the inside where his sides, where his wings are. If wings is something you want to call it. He doesn't look like he's battle mode right now because his facial expression is not one where he's like screaming, yelling, or telling someone to get out of the way or trying to kill something. It does look like he's sort of leading the way through a path at this point where others might be following him, which is really cool. For reference, I'm going to stick him over here to the side and put Aragorn right next to him. You know, maybe they're in the same cave together and they're side by side. Even though this wasn't meant to be looking like this, look how cool they look together. Stop playing. You know, there's very few things more that can go into this set right here that I wouldn't put directly next to each other, even though they weren't made to be exactly that way. This is cool. Stop playing. You can hear the music in your head, can't you? I butchered that. That's beside the point. This is Gandalf the White from Diamond Select Toys PVC diorama, which is an excellent piece. I have very few gripes about it. It's excellent in a price point that's going to work for your movie memorabilia and collection growing, especially if you're a Lord of the Rings fan. If you're not a Lord of the Rings fan, how did I get you to watch for this long? Ha ha, sucker. I knew you were a fan. Anyway, this is Tony the Toy Rat for Diamond Select Toys and Gandalf the White, and I am out.